Boo! Scary, scary Halloween, scary Halloween. Woo. Hey, this is a Total Schmidt Show. Welcome. It's Tuesday night, 6 o'clock. Very special Halloween episode. Buckle up. Hey, welcome to the Total Schmidt Show. Whether you're watching on the Lenny Schmidt Comedy Network on YouTube or you're listening on podcast, we have a new intro, new theme song. Let's do this. Hey, tune in every week as I travel the world and I talk to entertainers from all over the world. A lot of writers, a lot of comics, a lot of dancers, a lot of singers, a lot of comics, a lot of producers, a lot of tech people, a lot of comics, a lot of pianists, piano player type people. You know what I'm talking about. Musicians and lots of comics. Every once in a while, we'll throw in a comedy sketch, something like that, some music, some travel stuff. We'll even do a live remote from one or two of the ports they happen to be hanging out at. That's it. That's the whole show. And I'm going to record it all and put it on the intraweb. Sometimes. Usually late. Always late. Maybe. I don't know. And weekly? No. Maybe. Sort of. Either way, sit back, grab a beer, light a joint, and enjoy this week's episode of... Hey, thanks for tuning in tonight, Tuesday night. I thought I'd do something different for Halloween. This is a Total Schmidt Show. I talk to entertainers, people that perform live for a living. If you watch the show, you know what to do. If you don't, do me a favor, give it a thumbs up. Real quick, hit the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video, look at the tickers. There's all kinds of social media information, but I want to get right to it. Speaking of live performers, I could think of no one better to have on here on Halloween than Ron Fitzgerald, a guy that I knew back in Chicago years ago. We've been friends for many, many years. I haven't seen him in a long, long time. This is his busy season. He does all kinds of cool stuff for Halloween. And we're going to talk about a lot of it right now here in the show. Sit back and enjoy my conversation with the master illusionist, Ron Fitzgerald. Ron Fitzgerald, buddy, how are you doing?
I am great, Lenny. It is good to see you. It's great to be here for your Halloween spooktacular.
Yeah, dude, this is, I'm glad this worked out. I know we talked earlier in the year about you doing the show, and then I didn't call you for a long time. I didn't get back in touch with you. But then as we got closer to Halloween, I go, this is perfect. I go, this couldn't be any better. So yeah, exactly. This is a Halloween episode. Yeah. So how you doing, buddy?
I am doing good. I mean, about the time we were talking, and then shortly after that, I got a bad viral infection, wound up in the hospital for several weeks, and then I was recouping after that. But I'm back at it, and I'm out, and I'm haunting and scaring people and doing my evil thing. So much better now.
Okay, good. Well, good, man. I'm glad you're healthy. You're better. You said you were in the hospital for a while, man. That's not good.
It was like getting hit by a truck. It was the influenza virus, but not the part that gives you the flu. It's some other offshoot of it, and they told me the name of it, but I don't remember it right now because it's long and complicated. But there's like a whole other part of that I've never heard of, never knew about. But it gets all up in your muscles and your joints and everything. Yeah. I thought I had COVID again at the beginning because there was some congestion. So I just thought it was COVID. And I thought, great, I'll sequester at home in the bat cave and I'll be fine. And a couple of days later, I realized that, oh no, this is something way worse. And I gotta call my doctor. So they took me in. They worked on me extensively. But it was like getting hit by a truck. It just tightened everything up and got all of my joints and everything. And I mean, to the point to where they had even give me a physical therapy to straighten it all out.
Were you inpatient? Were you in the hospital for a while?
I was for like over 3 weeks.
Oh man. Oh dude. Oh my God. That's a long time, man.
Yeah, it was too long.
Yeah.
Too long. I was screaming to get out of there at the end of it.
All right. Well, I'm glad you're. Well, dude, I'm glad you're out. I'm glad you're healthy. I'm glad you're ready for your busy season, dude. You're one of those dudes, dude. We worked so much together back in the '90s. It's been a long time since I've seen you. We did those Joni gigs. Joni, what was her last name? Byford, right?
Joni Byford, right? Yeah. Joni.
Yeah.
She had us doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And, that was kind of, part of, or the tail end of, and part of the comedy glut of the 90s, where every club in the universe had to have its own comedy night.
Right.
You and I, we did we did a ton of those.
Dude, how many? Yeah, those one-nighters all over they were all over the city area. There were just tons of one-nighters all over the place.
All over. Yeah. Everywhere. Fast and furious, as fast as she could book them, we would go out and do those things. And, I loved it. It was a great time. I really enjoyed that, because since then I haven't, I wanted to do my bigger stuff, the Illusion Show and things like that. So I had kind of moved on from comedy venues and gone into a lot of haunts and event kind of oriented things, stuff like that.
Okay. All right. Well, so with this time of season, you get a bunch of stuff going on Halloween. What's your Halloween look like this year, man? Are you doing, do you do shows? Are you back out in theaters?
Because at the time I was supposed to be doing a theater, but because of all the physical therapy aspect of what I've gone through, I could not guarantee that I would be able to physically do everything I needed to do for a full-on Illusion Show.
Right.
So we decided to postpone it, and we're going to book that theater again later.
So, so basically, okay. So you couldn't guarantee you were available for the gig, so you're going to do the gig, just do it later then.
Exactly.
Okay.
They, we talked about it, and then they decided to just take a pass for now, because they knew I was not going to be ready for this in time. I couldn't guarantee that I could, actually physically go out there and, climb in boxes and move boxes and set people on fire in coffins and cut people's heads off, do all the things I usually do for fun on stage. And, so we decided to postpone that. And so my Halloween has been a lot of sharing as I can from right here in the Batcave. A lot of PR.
In the back, in the Batcave. I love the Batcave. Dude, I just remember, like you, because I still talk to Austin Brooks quite a bit. I'll see him in Vegas. Yeah. I'll be out there in a few weeks.
Well, you're out there in LA with him and everything.
Yeah, well, he's in Vegas now, so I go to Vegas twice a year, but I see him there. But I always remember him like you. Like, I remember doing one-nighters with you when you would show up, and you had equipment. You had shit you used to have to bring in with you.
I did.
I know, it was insane that you did it all yourself. Yeah. It was badass.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I mean, that was the thing. I mean, and that's why a lot of the comics were, they liked me because I was different, but a lot of them don't like prop comics, They don't like guys like me with a lot of stuff. So some of them weren't very keen on that. But you and a lot of other ones, you guys didn't care. I mean, as long as it was a good time, it was a good show, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I didn't care. I thought it was great. I like the difference, man. I like different styles. You know what I mean?
It was and I think that's why Joni was booking us like that, and why everybody else booked me at the time, because it was very different. It's like, I don't know if you remember Max Maven at all. He has since passed, but he's done a lot of big TV and magic specials all over the world and everything. And Max started doing what we were doing. He started his very dark but sarcastic, he had a dark but flatly presented humor in a mentalist show. And he did that in comedy venues. And so there's been a precedence for shows like that. And he had props, but they were much smaller. He wasn't coming with like a tombstone table and all that stuff like I do.
Yeah, I remember the tombstone table. It looked like
everybody does.
You're moving a cemetery.
Every comic I ever worked with sat a drink on the damn thing.
Yeah, dude, it was the greatest thing ever at a sports bar to see you lugging a bunch of shit. It looks like you're building a cemetery in the middle of a dance floor. It's pretty cool.
Well, and that was it, and that's always been my thing ever since. I mean, no one would ever know it, but when I started, when I was a kid, for years I did traditional magic: birds, bunnies, bad formal wear, crap like that. And then at a certain point, I said, actually, a friend of mine, she said to me, she's like, you're way more interesting off stage than on, because she knew all the other geeky stuff I was into, like, horror movies and, the paranormal, and I like the metaphysical and dark, like real magic stuff. And she's like, that should all be in the show.
Yeah.
And at that point, the light went off, and I was like, okay, well, great. Then that all goes in the show. And then it evolved into what was pretty fully evolved by the time you and I met, except that even then, I kind of looked like the bastard child of the Goblin King from Labyrinth and the Vampire Lestat, because they had long blonde
Yeah, the long
hair
white hair or whatever. Yeah, the long blonde hair, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It was a very different look then. If people want to see it, that's on my YouTube channel in my old cable show that I was doing at the time. I have my own cable TV show. And if they want to see that look, they can find it on there. So it was very, it was a different look. And then later I shaved my head and did more of the Nosferatu thing because it was even scarier,
Right. It's scary. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Well, dude, first of all, let me put your website up here because this will show you the type of stuff that we're talking about now. Look at this is your website. Hang on a second.
Thank you. Gerald'sRealm.com.
Yeah, no worry, man. Look at, I love it, dude. I love this. This laid out so nice, dude. Look at this. It's perfect for you. I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is a great.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is a great look. I like all this, man. This is cool. But yeah, this is the type of stuff that, I always like this. Like you said, I like different stuff, man. And it's almost, I'm not saying it's like vaudeville, but it's so different. It's got, but this website is perfect for you. It nails who you are. Look at that. Dude, that's so fucking badass.
Well, I work very closely with my web designer, who's really awesome, Socrates, and he put that together. You can if anybody's looking for a great website, you can send me an email and I will send you his way. But we worked extensively on the aesthetic and the photos I wanted and the elements that were in there to talk about, Dark Realm, the movie presentation I made for my Gothic Illusion show. That's on Amazon Prime Video if anybody wants some really cool, fun viewing for Halloween or beyond.
Right.
Great at Christmas too. For the spooky people.
Well, dude, let's play your version of the MASH. What do you think, man? Let's bust that out now, man.
Yeah,
is that cool?
Let me set this up real quick.
Go right ahead.
For people who don't, I have always loved Vincent Price and things like that, and I had like a lot of like vinyl albums from him that my mom had gotten me, like from the 70s and things, where he's like reading spooky stories, and he's done his own version of Monster Mash and things, and I always thought it would be fun to do that. So I've been working with a band who did the soundtrack for my Dark Realm movie, House Made of Dawn. They're out of LA, and we collaborated to make this new version of Monster Mash. And then I'm like, well, we gotta have a video for it, so I produced the video, and this is it.
All right, right on. Here we go. This is the Monster Mash with Ron Fitzgerald.
Well, here's to a world of gods and monsters.
Master, you've returned.
Everything was almost destroyed. All my tubes and wires.
I cleaned up as best I could.
Oh, my TVC-15. Have a look.
Tell me, how did this happen?
She did the marsh. I was working in my lab late one night, and my eyes beheld an eerie sight. When my monster from her slab began to rise, and suddenly, to my surprise, she did the mash! She did the monster mash! The monster mash! It was a graveyard smash! She did the mash! It caught on in a flash! She did the mash! She did the monster mash! In my laboratory in the castle east, to the master bedroom with the vampire's feast. The ghouls all came from their humble abode to get a jolt from my electrode. They did the mash! They did the monster mash! The monster mash! It was a graveyard smash! They did the mash! It caught on in a flash! They did the mash! They did the monster mash! The zombies were having fun. The party had just begun. The guests included the Wolfman, Dracula and his son. The scene was rocking, all were digging the sound. Igor on chains, backed by his baying hounds.
Master, the coffin bangers refuse to go on, so I replaced them with house made of gold.
They played the Monster Mash. It was a graveyard smash. It caught on in a flash. They played the Monster Mash. And out of his coffin, Drax's voice did ring. Seems he was troubled by just one thing. He threw open the lid and started waving his hand and said, "Whatever happened to my orgy of the damned?"
It's now a mash.
It's now the Monster Mash.
The Monster Mash.
And it's a graveyard smash.
It's now a mash.
It caught on in a flash.
It's now a mash.
It's now the Monster Mash. Now everything's cool. Drax a part of the band. And my Monster Mash is the hit of the land. For you living, this mash was meant to. When you get to my door, tell them the Realm Lord sent you.
Let's watch your mash.
Then you can Monster Mash.
The Monster Mash.
And do my graveyard
Let's
smash.
watch your mash.
It'll catch on in a flash.
Let's watch your mash.
You'll do the Monster Mash.
I have long thought that the Monster Mash needed a guitar solo.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a natural for it, right? I mean,
Yeah.
And that was the thing when we were working on it together with the band Housemaid of Dawn. You see Alpha, he's the one on the guitar solo. And we were like, this needs more energy, more modern energy. We want to kind of make it a party tune.
Right.
So he's like, guitar solo. And I'm like, yes.
Guitar solo. Yeah.
Yeah. Has to happen, right?
Dude, nice job on the video, man. That's a ton of footage there, bro. That's a lot of editing, man. I mean, I lost track of how many different locations, shots, all kinds of different stuff there.
It was shot at a secret underground location in Indiana, in South Bend. It was shot in a cemetery in Illinois, and it was shot in a couple of different places in LA as well.
Oh, right on.
Housemaid Dawn got me some footage.
Okay.
So it came together. It became a little bigger production and looked a little nicer, because of it. And the funny thing is, I got a great story about when we were shooting in the graveyard. I mean, one is Lady India, who plays our female monster. That's the other thing we wanted to change. It's kind of a sequel to the first one, to this Frankenstein. We're doing like Bride of Frankenstein in this one. Right. So it kind of accompanies the original nicely. And we made it into a little horror movie. And when we're out in the graveyard shooting, she's like getting chills and feels like she's being touched by some of the mausoleums and stuff. And then all of a sudden we get like 3 squad cars pull up, and these cops get out and come up and go, hi, we got a report of vampires in the cemetery. So how awesome is that?
The cops just show up. This is a bunch of bullshit, and they pull up and they go, oh, holy shit.
And they pull up and they actually find us.
Yeah,
but they see that we have a camera crew and
right.
and what we're doing and everything. And I thought they were going to shut us down. I thought they were going to say, okay, this is great, but fun time is over. Let's get the vampires out of the cemetery. They were totally amused by the call. And the other guys came along because they're like, we got to see what the hell they're talking about.
Right.
And then they find us. And of course, they were all very entertained by Lady India as well.
Yeah.
And then they were like, they didn't shut us down. They're like, yeah, go ahead, finish what you're doing.
Was
So
that
they were very cool about it.
was
Yeah.
Lady India the hot girl in the cemetery? Was that who that was?
Yeah.
Wow,
Yep.
she was. I could see they'd be entertained by her. She was gorgeous.
She is, and
where-
she's super talented, massively creative. I love working with her. She's in the Dark Realm movie as well. If you want to see more of her in there,
Yeah.
we work together a lot on projects like this. And she was the first one I thought of. I'm like, okay, we need a female monster. We need the Bride of Frankenstein. I'm like, gotta be her.
Right. Now, the cemetery stuff, was that in Illinois or Indiana or L.A.?
That
Where the
was
cops-
in Illinois.
Cops
we
showed
shot
up.
that here. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I was gonna ask you if you had permits or if you were guerrilla shooting. I was pretty sure you were guerrilla shooting.
No, we were run and gun.
Yeah,
Yeah, we've
'cause
done
in
it.
LA they shut that shit down. They don't let you shoot. They're not like, oh, this
Nope.
is fun. They're real crappy about it in LA.
I've done it on a couple of indie movies I've made out there
Yeah.
with John Lachago. But and it was run and gun. But you've got to be fast because they will
Yeah.
shut your ass down.
Yeah, you got to do it
yeah.
quick and get out. Yeah, right. Because I've shot a couple of things
Yep.
there too, where you're like, you sit in your car and you wait till it gets quiet. And
Yeah.
you're like, oh, just go.
Yeah.
We got about 10 minutes. Go. And you run up and get a couple shots real
And
quick and get
that's
the hell
all
out of
you
there.
get. It's like maybe 10, 15 if you're lucky, and you better get it and get out.
Yeah. Right.
And
Yeah.
out here, they're more forgiving because they're more entertained by that because they don't see it all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Plus the vampire thing adds to it. That had to be, that's a cool vibe if you're a cop.
It was a big snick for them. I mean, when they actually get a freaking call going, excuse us, we need the police out here. There are vampires in the cemetery. At that point, they've got to go out and look just for their own amusement. So
Right. How much? That's the best, man. And I was scanning through all your internet stuff and all your Wi-Fi or all your stuff online. How much you still? You create a lot of stuff. You shoot a lot of these videos, man. How much do you got stuff coming up? You're shooting soon, or?
I've got a really fun clip that's from the cable show era. There used to be a magic store out here. You might remember this as well, called Chuck's House of Magic.
Oh, I do, because I know some of the guys that used to go there all the time. I used to hear about it. Yeah,
Austin used to work there. Our good friend Austin Brooks actually used to work
There's
there.
a guy named John Meisner, right? John, you know John Meisner? Is that right?
John Meisner's a good friend of mine. Yep.
Yeah, John Meisner is a guy that I used because I saw him years ago too. But he brought that place up too. Okay.
Oh yeah. In fact, we just made our latest video is goth girls in a hot tub, and I made a tutorial on how to make a Jello shot brain.
Okay.
And we shot that in John's hot tub.
Okay. Nice.
So he'll be happy he got a name drop tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Do you have the clip from the show? Where are the clips from the show? I can show a clip from the show on here if you can direct me to one online.
From some of the cable show.
Dude, I'll show anything you want me to show. You just mentioned it.
Actually, show the Dark Realm trailer. If you go in there, it is the first thing. Everything's organized. If you go to my channel,
I got it, buddy. That's one of the first things I had queued up, actually. Hang on.
Yeah, everything's organized in playlists, and the first thing in the Dark Realm movie playlist is the trailer for that.
Yeah, I got it right here. I had it loaded up, and then I lost the feed, but I got it back. Give me 10 seconds, and we'll throw it up
since
here.
it's an total indie thing, and it's mostly illusion performance presented in the horror film format, I think we're okay because I'm supporting the actor strike. I haven't been promoting anything else I've done or anything. But hello,
Careful.
We're back. That I can.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
All right.
So if you want to find that, I think that's only a minute and a half.
I got it, brother. All right.
All right.
All right, man. You want to set this up? You want to set up the Dark Realm trailer for us, my friend?
Yeah, a Dark Realm. It's actually got a narrative to it, and it's presented like a horror film, but it is really like 65% of it or more is my shot in front of a live audience on stage illusion show, because I have a spooky gothic illusion show that is themed for a horror film. So, and all of the, horror movies I've ever seen that had somebody playing an illusionist in them, none of them were actually trained illusionists. but since I have done a bunch of horror films and am an actor and an illusionist, we put everything together into Dark Realm. But it's like you're going out to see, my Gothic illusion show. So that's all you need to do to get into there and enjoy the trailer.
Perfect. Here we go. Dark Realm trailer.
They say that place is haunted. Like the Phantom of the Opera, only for real.
We should fit right in then, don't you think?
This is dark, sticky, vampire fun! Hit it!
Yes, master.
No, I can't do this tonight. I mean, you gotta do this tonight. I need something bad to happen to radio. Just because you have a nightmare about her losing her head, that's no reason for you to lose yours. Got one more show. You do one more show and then you can take a knife on Chris. You got one more show. I just think I need a break. No.
Nice, dude. All right, right on.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And that's on Amazon Prime Video for anybody who wants to watch it.
Oh, right on, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
You got to. All right. So what, dude? I love how you've got a specific style and you stayed with it for years, man. And it's definitely a niche market. And this is a busy time of year for you, man. Where are you living at now? Where do you live at, area wise?
I'm still based in Chicago at present.
All right.
But it allows me to get out easily and work anywhere I need to.
Right. Okay. Well, it's good. So how do you market now? You don't really have to market yourself because you're a package. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like people would come looking for you, and you got to get return business for what you've done, for the work you've done before.
Thank you. Well, a lot of it's a cumulative effect because people have known me for years. And like you say, I got in and I did my thing. And even though, the hair is shaved and the style has changed a little bit, it's just gotten spookier and weirder, but I'm doing the same thing. And so people know me for that. I'm actually writing a book about my weird career right now called Monstrous Magic, a career conjuring dark, sticky fun. So, and that'll be out next year, probably around spooky season next year. I'll be out pimping the book.
Nice. Well, I'll have to have you back next year, man, to pimp the book out here.
Absolutely. Anytime you want. But yeah, definitely next spooky season, next Halloween, we'll come back and hopefully I have great things, great stories to talk about from the book and everything else.
Now, who's doing most of the shooting on this and the short films and stuff you're doing, or all the work, the footage? Who shoots and what kind of cameras are you using for that stuff? Do you know?
We use a variety of things. A lot of them can be Sonys and XLRs and things like that. Right. It's not super high-end stuff. Some of it we're actually shooting on iPhones. And they even shot a feature film with an iPhone 6 a few years ago. So we use a variety of things. But we shoot nicer, on a higher-end cameras and things like that when we're doing a project like Dark Realm or the music video for Monster Mash, things like that. Obviously, it depends on the project. But my director, you saw him in the trailer for Dark Realm when you saw him. He played Igor and Dracula in the Monster Mash video. His name is Vincent Belancio, and his horror pedigree goes all the way back to Sorority House Massacre in in 1980s with
I remember that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So Vinny's in all of that. We met making a movie for John Lachago together called Blood Gnome, which is kind of infamous in the horror film community because it is a horror film set in the BDSM underground. So,
right.
as you can imagine, that's just too much fun.
Right. Yeah, that covers all the bases there, man. Well,
It really, really does. If you want an organic reason for nudity and chains and blood, that's pretty much what you're going to say.
That's good. Yeah, the iPhones, like I know people have shot features on iPhones and stuff. All that stuff is good, man. Have you thought about using lavaliers, or what kind of sound are you using, man? Because I know notice you're looping a lot of your sound. What kind of mic setups are you using?
We had to, because we had a sound issue with Dark Realm.
Yeah.
And I had to go back in and loop most of my dialogue.
That's so, dude, sound is like it's such a pain in the ass. It's like the number one.
Yeah.
It hurts. But you know what helps you in that situation, though? Because you got so much going on camera with the different shots and the blood and the angle and the music, it moves so quick. That's one of the ways I cheated on sound when I did my earlier videos, was I did a lot of quick cuts and moves and didn't have to worry about audio too much. So it kind of saved me a little bit.
Yeah, there are ways around that, and there's always the old adage of "we'll fix it in post." And
yeah, I know.
Sometimes you have to do that. It's always better if you can get recorded sound at the time so it matches.
Right.
And there's no matching, no sync issues or anything like that. So, either shotgun it or a lavalier, whatever you've got that is good, clean sound.
Right. All right, man. Well, look, let's wrap this up, dude. Do me a favor, though. I can't thank you enough. I'm glad we finally connected. Tell me, give your socials out. Anything you want to plug, go ahead and hit the people with it right now, man.
All right, you can find me on all the social media, on the Evil Book of Face, on Instagram. You can find me on the Evil Tickety Talk, and here on YouTube. Please find my channel. A lot of video there, a lot of fun stuff, especially for this time of year, for the spooky season. But every day is Halloween for folks like us. And please subscribe, and subscribe to Lenny's channel as well. He's really close to 1,000 mark, so get this man monetized. Get him in there. Let's get that happening. Let's make that happen right now for spooky season. That's our PBS pledge drive, right there.
Nice, I like it. Sure. a little threat from a vampire to get my numbers up. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And then FitzgeraldRealm.com. I got a store in there. You can buy stuff like, here we go. You can get DVDs. You can get comic books. And if you want a quick way to get some of my links, I'm going to try and get this up here for you. There you go.
QR code. Smart man. Look at you.
QR code on
Brilliant.
The show, and that will take you to my major links.
Bingo. Perfect.
Scan that mofo.
Hit it.
Give him a brain scan, and and you are good.
All right, buddy. All right, Ron. Thanks a lot, buddy. I really appreciate it, man.
Lenny, thank you. What are your plans? You have an awesome Halloween plan?
I'll be on a cruise ship again. That's where I'll be. I'll be in a ship in the middle of the ocean somewhere outside of Spain. So I'm flying out Friday. So that's where I'll be.
Well, enjoy. Have a great time with that. Thanks for having me on. And happy Halloween, happy spooky season, everybody.
Thank you, buddy. Stay healthy, Ron. Take care of yourself, buddy.
I will. Thank you. You as well. Be careful out there on that ship, man.
I will, man. Thanks. You're still watching? That's amazing. Nobody does that. Nobody, but you did. That means you want more. Pick one of these clips. Go for it. I dare you. Hey, also follow one of those social media thingies.